publication of notice of public hearing.
So moved.
Motion by Holland,
Second?
second by Davis, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to hold hearing.
I make a motion, we hold the hearing?
Motion by Davis,
Second.
second by Hill, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any objections on file?
No written objections on file.
Comments, questions? I see Joe's here tonight.
Well, and-
Steve's here.
And this is for the financing end of it. I mean, this is what it would allow us to borrow up to $500,000 for the project. That's what we're discussing with.
We had these figures before, so I'm just re-emphasizing if you didn't have them, I know they have them.
Yeah, and then on number 10, we'll actually talk about the bid on the project, but,
As we go through these, we go through this 7, 8, and 9, bear with me, because we'll go through this, with the hearings right now, I just want to bear through me as we go, okay?
But we're looking to potentially borrow up to $500,000. It looks like our total out-of-pocket after we reduced the amount for the grant award that we received, is we'll have an out-of-pocket of about $465,000. So $500,000 gives us a little bit of flexibility in there for any contingencies or anything else additional that would be on top of that, of which hopefully we have none.
And there is some time frame for this grant for the 150,000.
Yes, absolutely. That we received a grant for $115,584 towards this particular type of VRF equipment, and it needs to be installed and operational by September 20th. So the current due date on the project is to be done by September 16th is the goal. So it's going to be a very short project, quick project.
So the basic cost is $580,000,
Correct.
over $500,000.
Seems like a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Is this system gonna save us money, though? Are we gonna be able to save on utility cost?
It was certainly more economical. We reviewed that probably a couple months ago when we were looking at the two different systems, and it was the more efficient of the two systems. And I think it's comparable to what we right now. We don't have the system, I guess, so it's kind of hard to compare. But
Doesn't some of this also include like having to change our electrical, and some other things besides just the heating and cooling equipment?
right, and I think Joe could probably talk about that even better as far as you were with the change of the electrical panel. We have electrical panel issues that we have bare wires and things that need to be replaced. So I mean, there's a lot of things are involved with this.
Yes, there's, your electrical service right now is rated for 400 amps, and it's not adequate for the load that's going to be added in. There's been a desire to get this building air conditioned, so if and when that was ever done, you would have had to upgrade your electrical service. And when I was over here, documenting what you have as existing, your transformer sits over here, and there's a conduit feeder. You can see it from the parking lot, and it penetrates the wall and comes into the building. At that penetration, one of the wires, I looked at it to see what the size was. It was nicked and had exposed copper, which is dangerous. So, and I showed Doug and Steve, and so you had to repair that and as quick as you can. So we discussed it, and it seemed to make the most sense to roll that into the project and have our installing contractor, fix that feeder. So then we also have to, in conjunction with this VRF, this variable refrigerant flow system, requires a backup heat source, which dovetails into replacing your boiler, which has, failed and needed to be replaced.
So we're not talking about the size of boiler we've got now, we're talking about something about the size of your
Yeah, it's pretty small. It's way there, the efficiency of boilers has changed dramatically in the past probably 10 years or so, or 15 years. And it's really involves thinking outside the box. What you have downstairs is a pretty good sized vessel. That's based on square feet of heating surface per boiler horsepower, which is how it used to be. And now the technology has changed so much that they're much, much smaller. It's like 27 inches by 30 inches. It'll go through a door. Weighs about 600 pounds.
Now,
Spans about that tall.
one of my understandings on this system for this particular building that makes it kind of useful is one, because we've got asbestos, that it limits the amount of disturbance that we're gonna have as we go through floors and walls and things.
Yes, that's true. This system, when you juxtapose it with a conventional system, which would have been rooftop units, that's when we would have to have a lot of duct penetrations through the floor. And there's asbestos adhesive with the floor tiles. And it's hit or miss, and so it really opens up a can of worms. Our penetrations are piping penetrations, and we're building a little chase in that toilet room over there. So it's gonna take about that much space, and there's no asbestos where we're going through the floor there.
And the last factor that I thought really sounded beneficial is you can zone every room in this building so that
Right.
one can actually have heat on while another room has air conditioning going.
Right. This system is called heat recovery. And it's an air-to-air heat pump, and it's capable of providing simultaneous heating and cooling. And it lends itself to zoning. There's I don't know 8 or 9 different styles of indoor unit that you would match up with it. The ductwork that you do need, like for this room and that room, we have a unit similar to what you've got with horizontal ductwork above the ceiling. But you can pop one in anywhere, anytime. The heat pump will tolerate diversity, so like let's say we had a 10-ton unit, you can put 15 tons connected to it. Which is, it looks like it's a mismatch, but there's diversity that this system is capable of accommodating. So it's pretty efficient, it's very efficient.
Now, some people have said this is all new technology and not used, but I think I read someplace where it's been around for 3-4 decades.
Yeah, it is, and it is Mitsubishi. And also, just so you know, this grant is based upon compliance with the American Reinvestment and Recovery Act. And this stuff is made in Japan, but because the technology is not available in the United States, there's an exemption from the Department of Energy, and we've got the paperwork to Steve. But it's been around 25, 35 years. It's how they do heating and cooling in Asia and in Europe. So it works, it's proven technology, and I think it's gonna dominate the market. And it's particularly well suited for an existing building, because you can get heating and cooling throughout the building without really tearing it apart.
And we're talking about doing the fire department, their
Yep.
training room, which is now their sauna in the summertime.
Yes, that's all added on. We've got, there's limited to the peak tonnage, and so what you do is we have separate systems. We have upstairs is gonna be to an air-to-air heat pump, and then this level in the basement will be to another air-to-air heat pump, and they'll both sit up on the roof. And all we're doing is bringing refrigeration piping into the building.
Actually pretty fortunate with that. I mean, with the area where we're making that penetration, takes up that much space, but that's about 10% of our break room. But anyway, there's no asbestos in that room, so that was very fortunate that we don't have to. There's a 10-day waiting period on moving forward with DNR and that. But since that area is asbestos free, we can move forward and move quickly and not have to worry about that delay. So that was fortunate.
Right, and then because of the grant, timeframe got compressed and our estimates were short of what the actual bids were, but we got 2 bids and they were $19,000 apart. And we're getting probably a 4-month project done in 5 weeks. And so we instructed the contractors, price it accordingly because we're not gonna jeopardize this grant. And, that means overtime on Saturday and Sunday and at night or whatever, that's what we expected them to deliver to us. And then if this project is approved tonight, when I walk out the door, I'm gonna call a contractor right away and let him know that it's a go. Cause they're staged and set up and ready to go.
Is this system, we're talking about maybe doing some remodeling on the second floor here. Is it conducive to moving it around if we decide to put rooms as opposed to wide open
Yeah,
space?
it's very adaptable. And then another thing is like, let's say your calculated load to be 3 tons. Well, this system, if we go up there now, we have a 3-ton unit and we partition it and it only comes up to, maybe it's 1.5 tons. The system will throttle down and do what it's supposed to do. So it's very, very flexible. Our contractors our low bidder was Plumtech from Waterloo. Their electrical subcontractor is Community Electric from Waterloo. And the general contractor we got on board is Larson from Independence. Then there's some minor subcontractors too. And we bought the equipment from Trane, and we also have to have a temperature control contractor take care of the hot water heating system. Trane's gonna be doing that too. So your building will have one source for future maintenance and, troubleshooting, that type of thing.
Any other questions, comments?
One last question. I noticed in some of these systems, there was some discussion about air turnover, because it's such a closed system, and that's all been taken into consideration as far as this building.
Oh, yeah, right. Yes, it has.
Okay, thank you, Joe.
There's one other thing too is, basement too, this does heat and cool the basement for genealogy, so, that was something we made sure we did in there too.
I'd make a motion to close the hearing.
Motion to close hearing and receive and file oral and written comments. I have a motion by Davis,
Second.
second by Howland, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Go to item 8, please. Adopt a resolution of the proposal to enter into a loan agreement. The loan agreement. Borrow money in the principal amount not to exceed $300,000 for the general corporate purpose of paying the cost, to the extent of constructing improvement to the finishing and equipping the municipal recreation center.